Hi guys, Geekonomics here once again, and today I'm bringing you a rundown on figure 4.1, extract 4 OCR F585 for the June 2016 F585 exam. So let's get to it. What have we got here then, ladies and gentlemen? So we've got quite a lot of data on this chart. You can see here it's in billions of US dollars, and we're working from 99 really through to 2017, although these numbers are asterisked and hence these are forecasted figures, and it tells you that in the extract here. These are estimates. So I hope you're all familiar with what these things are: FDI, remittances, official development assistance, debt and portfolio investment. So FDI, foreign direct investment. What is that? That is the situation in which a multinational company decides to expand and invest, usually in plant or machinery in a foreign country. So thinking of our own economy, the UK, close to the northeast here in Newcastle, we obviously have the Nissan factory, Watashi Wonamai Nissan, and that's a great example of FDI. And a key thing to note, and we'll come back to this, is that FDI does actually contribute a lot to the local and regional economy via local and regional multipliers. Remittances. These are monies sent by people who were born in a country, moved out of the country, and then they're sending money back primarily to families from their place of birth, really. Official development assistance, we're told up here, so this is money sent by governments to these developing nations. And then here we have debt and portfolio investment. So this is investment in more financial transactions, investing in property and shares and other forms of financial bonds. So that's what the key stands for, and that's what it indicates. So what are the obvious things that we can say about this, ladies and gentlemen? Well, first of all, we can see clearly that FDI, although it does fluctuate quite a lot, the general trend is very significantly upwards, and it's very extensive. We're talking about almost 750 billion US dollars. So very extensive FDI. And although it does fluctuate, very important, one might say. Along the bottom here, trickling along the bottom, we have this one, which is the Overseas Development Assistance. Just knocking on towards maybe 130 billion, something like that. It's interesting, ladies and gentlemen, isn't it? In these times of austerity, where the UK government, for example, have chosen to ring fence a lot of their expenditure and protect it. And one of the things which has been protected has been this Overseas Development Assistance. But the other interesting point to note from this is look how much smaller it is relative to FDI. Overseas Development Assistance, so government aid, is really such a tiny fraction of sort of funding and financial flows going back to these developing nations. What else have we got? So the other important thing is about these remittances. Obviously, you're going to get a question primarily probably about remittances. So it's very important to consider this and to consider its significance, which I think is more well explained on figure 4.2, and I'll do a video of that in due course. But again, the general trend, number one, is very stable, and again the general trend is upwards, and we're knocking on there for 420, 430 billion. So very substantial remittances. And it's, its significance, FDI first, remittances second. Then third, we have this debt and portfolio investment, and again the general trend is upwards, but this is very cyclical, isn't it? Very much affected by the global economic cycle in the same way that the FDI is up here. And one would expect that, of course, because where is this likely to be coming from? Where is the debt and portfolio investment going to originate? It's going to originate in the private sector in the global economy. Well, if the global economy is performing badly, then there won't be the available surplus cash to make these investments in the developing nations. And I think really that's probably all we could say about this data set. Again, you know, I stress the point in the exam, make reference to the data, pull numbers from the charts, and really go to town on it and show off your ability to analyse the data. And I guess the other key thing is to point out these fluctuations here, which are obviously due to the global economic cycle. So let's leave it at that, and I'll be back again with figure 4.2 in due course. So thank you, and keep studying.